Hello. Hi, it's me, Kathy. I'm just fixing my chair. Trying to get comfortable. Sorry I'm so late today. I'm gonna check the stream to make sure that you can hear me and see me and all that jazz. I'm back. I'm back to the regular spot. Let's see. Can you? Yep, you can hear me. I moved from downstairs. Let's see if my chair. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about the weird camera angle. I'm doing my best. Just a minute. Oh. Okay. All right. Got my iced coffee today. Cheers. I wanted to show you guys pictures from the show I did this weekend. So I made a little slideshow for you. I hope you like it. I gotta take a moment to sip this iced coffee. It's really good. I don't usually do iced coffee in the winter, but you know, sometimes it's refreshing. And it is very refreshing right now. We're gonna make some ornaments today, or at least one. We'll make one ornament. How's that? Yeah. So the show kicked my butt. And when I say kicked my butt, what I mean is that it's a lot of work. And oh, sorry. I do love doing them. I feel like most creative at this time of year. There's a lot going on. I get ideas and I want to do more and more. I did a bunch of larger paintings. I don't know what we got in the slideshow. They're in there. I have advice slices, which are 4x4 maple wood slices. They're all downstairs in my dining room. Like everything's piled up in my dining room. I gotta wipe my nose. Sorry. Yeah, I got the winter nose dripping. Sorry, TMI. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I was like the Tasmanian devil kind of over the past few weeks. Making stuff because I know that it's the logical thing to like make stuff in July and August. That's logical, right? I'm gonna move you up a little bit because I feel like you're not getting my face and that's weird. Right? That's like the logical thing to do. But I'd rather sit on my patio. I don't know, right? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sometimes my brain just doesn't like move that far ahead, which it should. It should, because it should. Because then we get to winter, we get to holiday times, and it's like, boing, you know what I mean? I made like 4 16x20 paintings, and I had 4 9x12 paintings, 1 14x14 painting that I really love. I mean, I really love them all, but it's kind of funny when you're looking at your work. It's like you gauge, you know, why something would be more popular than something else, or why something would be more popular than something else, why something wouldn't be popular at all with people, how visible something is from 20, 30, 40 feet away. And I'm kind of a small art person in general, but I did work larger. I had a bunch of panels that were just dying for some paint, and I've just been urging, like, wanting to, hey, Roblox, I've been wanting to paint larger. So, Roblox, how you doing? So I did. I just went bananas, and it was fun. And it definitely scratched that itch. So I would like to do more large paintings. This is the first time that I can remember recently. Hold on, I have to talk to Roblox, who's chatting with me here. Hold on. For anybody on the replay. Roblox, I want you to study for your finals, and I hope that you did well on them. Did you finish? Are you done? Are you on vacation now, Roblox? Let me know. So, and that's okay, People come to lives when they come to lives, and they don't when they don't, I'm just grateful that you're here. I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm just grateful that you're here, if you are here. And if you're watching on the replay, I'm grateful that you're here, watching on the replay. Yeah, tomorrow is an off day, Roblox says, and they studied. Good. Awesome. Yay! Yay! Oh, okay, I did my annual... Okay, this is so TMI. I bit off all my nails. Let me show you something that I wrote. Hold on. I like to write things that I'm thinking sometimes, because I think, hey, that might be a good painting or something to put on a t-shirt or whatever. Here's what I wrote last night. The annual nail biting ceremony will commence. I know, it's gross. It's gross. It is gross. I used to be a hardcore nail biter. I don't bite my nails anymore. And like once a year, I bite all my nails off. It's not like planned or anything. It's just what happens. It's like I don't know, anxiety, stress, whatever. But yeah, it happens. And it happened last night. And it's not going to happen anymore for maybe another year. Hopefully not another year. So let's do some ornaments, because I'm here. We're here. We got our ornaments. We got a theme. We have books. And I have this. I have this little, like, bump up stand thing that I got from IKEA. I messed it up. I got, like, but this is what happens when you're an artist and you're using paints and stuff. It just gets messy, and that's the way it goes. Right? That's my life, and it's okay. It's okay. Just checking to make sure. So I have this little cute little stand. It's like a little sushi looking stand, but it's not. It's for my paints. It's for my artwork to bring you closer so you can see what I'm doing. So what am I going to make? Well, I don't actually know. I think I'm going to do one that I already have a template for. Let me interject real quick. Okay, Roblox, go get your Go get your charger. I'm with you. I believe in being charged. Okay. I shut my Etsy shop on Saturday for the holiday. And you'll see stickers in those photos, and you'll see a lot of original art in those photos. And when I come back to my shop, when my shop comes back online, it's online now. What am I talking about? When my shop comes back, live again, then you might just see some of that stuff in there. My stickers are always in there. There are some book ornaments in there now, but the shop is on vacation now, so you probably won't be able to see that. All right, let's do... What am I doing? I only brought up a limited amount of paint. What did I do with this white? I was starting to do something. And now I don't have my white Posca up here. I'm discombobulated, so I'm not going to use this one as my base. I do these in stages, so oftentimes it's like first I do the background, then I do, so I'll do a bunch of backgrounds, and then I'll do a bunch of backgrounds and and a bunch of details, and then I'll do the name, the words on them and stuff, all at the same, like in a batch. That's like the practical way to work, right? I have in the slideshow a Little Women. I did a few Little Women ones, and I sold one of them. And the one that I sold, I was so thrilled to sell it, because I sold it to one of the organizers of this event, who purchased it for somebody special in their life, and who is a book lover, a book reader. And it just made me so happy. And she also bought it at the very end of the day. It's the second day. And yes, I'm going to paint and draw Roblox. I'm going to paint my blanks, and then I'm going to draw on top of them. So we're going to do a book ornament today. So she comes over like right at the end of the show, and she's like, okay, I want to get a ornament. She told me who the person was, what they liked, and I pointed out a few, and she picked Little Women right away. And I took a quick snap of it before I packaged it up for her, because I did these so quick fire that like I didn't even get all the pictures. I didn't get like pictures of everything. Even the paintings, like the large paintings, I didn't get pictures of everything before I displayed them. I hadn't even signed them. Oh, and no, I did not sell any paintings. I sold one advice slice. I think I had like 12. How many did I have? 30? 25 or 30? It was not a financially successful, I think. It wasn't a total, let me rephrase this. It wasn't a total loss, but it was like whoa. It was like a whoa for me. It was like a wow. Like Saturday was rough. Sunday was rough. I did not have that many sales. I made, okay, right? Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. Okay, let me preface this. 4-hour show. Not long, right? Not a long show. Per day. 12 to 4 each day. $145 on Saturday. And about the same on Sunday. Yeah. That was rough. I'm putting it all out there, guys. It was rough. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, wow. You know, on Saturday night, I was like, wow. You know, that's what I was like. I was like, okay, at least I did what I did. Because I didn't have like a complete blowout. I didn't have a complete goose egg. But, you know, that's tough. I gotta go study, bruh. Oh, this is Roblox is talking to me in the chat. They said, I gotta go study, bruh. Bye. I'll see you next live. Bye, Roblox. Have a great day and good studying to you. And I wish you well on your finals. So yeah, it was like, and it was like, I had a good spot. I mean, my spot was like right at the doors where people would enter, which I don't mind being there because yeah, people see you first and they're not going to buy anything at first oftentimes, but oftentimes it's like they'll see you. I mean, it's what I was going to say is they'll see you when they enter and they'll see you when they leave, depending on if there's a, you know, depending on the venue and where the doors are. And in this particular venue, they're going to leave through the other set of doors on the other side. So they're probably not going to walk through again unless they do the entire show, which they may or may not do. I don't know. Because there was an ice rink on the other side. So, and there's like having ice skating shows and stuff. So, you know, it's kind of like, I mean, I always depend on people, like on getting, like having people see something and then it getting in their heads. And then if it's something that they want, then they'll come back and get it, you know? That's kind of my way of looking at it. And, yeah. I mean, there was like spurts of traffic. And those spurts of traffic, there would be like a lot of people at one time, like all barreling through. And then it would be kind of quietish. And there's just no telling why something is, you know, why a show goes the way it does for you. I mean, there's all these factors. It's like, well, my stuff's not for everybody. It's really not, you know? But then nobody's stuff's for everybody. You know what I mean? So, but, you know, I just like to be honest. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, you know? It wasn't a great show for me. I love the venue. The organizers are great. It's, you know, lovely. Everything's great, except it wasn't for me. So, but, you know, what are you going to do? It's been a very weird year too. It's been a very weird year, and it's been a very weird holiday. It's been a very weird holiday season in my shop. Like sales are not even like it's like not what you know, they've been kind of like going down a little bit over the past couple, I think, but this year was kind of like wow for me. It was like wow on the scale of like wow, where's my holiday sales? So, you know, yeah. Yep, that's that. That's the way it is. And I'm just leaning into like what I'm feeling like my inner voice is wanting me to do, which is to do more original art. It's really like, you know, what I want to do and where I want to put my energy, because honestly, it's all hard. Like everything's hard. So you want to put your energy in a place where you feel like, you know, you can invest, you can make that unknown, you know, you can make that gamble for yourself, you know, because at least you're getting something back, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense? I don't know. At least you can feel good and feel like whole about what you're doing. You know? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But just gotta keep on keeping on, you know? And I did have some interest in my paintings, but I didn't have any sales, no painting sales. I had 4 9x12s and 4 16x20s, 1 14x14, 1 8x8, which I kind of messed up before I brought it, if I'm being completely honest, because what happened was it had some shiny bits and some glitter on it, and then what I did was I decided to varnish it with satin varnish spray, and it just dulled the whole thing down. So it was an unfortunate experiment, and no, I can fix it, but I couldn't fix it, you know, for the weekend. So I can update that painting and fix it and make it better. I can fix it. I can add more sprinkles, more glitter and stuff to it. But I had some really cool experiments over the past couple weeks. I used my wood burning tool just to test it out. I used my new Dremel. That was also just to test it out. And then I discovered a new medium that I'm going to use for I'm going to use it in my work. I did some experimenting with it and I used it for a few pieces. It's this it's called pouring medium, and it's basically marketed for acrylic pouring. You know what I'm talking about, right? The marbly type of painting with cells and all that. And I found a way to use it that is not for pouring, but in a different way, using it as a dimensional element in my work. So, and glossy, like a glossy dimensional element. So pretty excited about that, because I was looking for a alternative to Mod Podge Dimensional Magic, which I have not used, but I did some research on it, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to use it after researching it, because it sounded kind of like the reviews are kind of middling. And then there's another product. What it does is it's similar to a resin, but it's not. So this stuff is it's like a clear gloss dimensional product that you can use to add, you know, cute bubbles and glossy elements to your artwork. That's what the dimensional magic is. And then the pouring medium does much the same thing. So it's another acrylic medium that is marketed to be used as a pouring medium, but it also works as a dimensional medium for regular acrylic painting. So it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting because I love the look of epoxy resin, but I won't use it because it's not really very safe for, you know, breathing in and all this. So I have just no interest in going down that road. And this stuff is great. It's not perfect. It's very picky. It dries really fast, and it does this weird like little cracky thing, which I need to work with it more to fully understand like how to manipulate it, you know, how to maximize my manipulation tactics with it, if you understand what I'm saying. But it's the one that I purchased, the pouring medium that I purchased, and there's a lot of different ones, but the one that I used is Liquitex. It's called Liquitex pouring medium, and it acts what I think is similar to how the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic acts, which is to add dimension and gloss, if you buy the gloss version, to your work. And I don't have any examples right here today, and I'm sorry about that. I basically am just lucky that I actually got my act together to have this live today. I have my dining room is full of everything. I do want to show you though. I want to show you some examples of it, but maybe I'll do it on Wednesday's live, because I didn't have my act together today to do it for you on this live. I did my Etsy orders this morning from the weekend, and I upgraded every mug shipping to USPS priority. that's now in progress. So people will get their mugs on time for the holidays. And feels good to have that done. When I'm doing a show like this weekend, I just don't have time to do anything else. So orders that I got on Saturday and Sunday had to wait until today. But the truth is, I put the mugs through my print on demand partner, the faster one. And then I also upgraded the shipping to USPS priority. So that, I do believe, will get everybody's mugs to them on time. That combination. Because this particular partner, if you upgrade your shipping to USPS priority, then unofficially, but I do think that they prioritize your orders in the shipping queue, in the production queue, as well as the fact that you're getting priority shipping if you order it. They also tend to do those orders faster. So, at least in my experience. So, I do think that those orders will go out pretty soon. And I could play it closer to the wire, and leave my shop open a few more days, but it's really not worth the stress I've learned over the years and using print on demand so heavily. And I don't want to go around. I could also leave my store open. Let me back up. I could also leave my store open, and then I could deactivate the portions of my shop that have, or the listings in my shop that use certain print-on-demand partners who are going to be slower. But that's just really messy. That could be very messy, because then it's like there's not really organization to do that within the system on Etsy, to do that efficiently and easily, if you know what I'm saying. So that would just be a headache later, I mean, a headache now and later, because there's no easy way to do that. So, if I had a handmade only shop on Etsy, which is really not a bad idea, honestly, it would be easier, because then I could be okay, handmade shop is open and I'm shipping directly from my studio here, and more is in my control. I'm not using print on demand for any of my handmade stuff, obviously, so I could just handle those in a totally different way, and I could leave my shop open until the 19th, 20th, depending on when the weekend falls on a year. I mean, I could leave it open up to close to the last minute, you know, but because I have so much print on demand in my store, and I have originals in there too, but things are mixed, so it's just not conducive, you know? It's just not. Where's my little head? Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, how come I can't see my little head in there? So, let's see. What do we want to do? So I was thinking about making more little women ornaments, but I think I'm going to do a Pride and Prejudice, because I'm going to tell you something. There's always an audience for Jane Austen. Always. Saturday. Did I tell you this? I told you that the show was not, like, financially great for me, right? I don't think I told you this, though. On Saturday, I didn't sell one book ornament on Saturday. In fact, the entire Saturday, I only sold one ornament. Period. And that ornament was it was a October's ornament. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I did a series of October's ornaments a few years back. Excuse me, and it was one of those. Okay, I have to show you something really funny. So usually, like, if you're grabbing stuff from your basement art studio and bringing it up to the second floor in order to do a live, you're going to grab different colors in these than you would in your paint pens. Look at what I grabbed. Why? I don't know. What happened here? What happened here? I don't know. I got orange, I got lavender, I got some gold, I got an olive colored paint pen, I have olive colored paint, I have off-white, and I have aqua. What happened? And I have some gold. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna take my glasses off for a second. Okay, let's look at these. How dry are we, guys? All right, let's do Pride and Prejudice. I am going to go to my Googling here. And see what I can find out. A lady's imagination is very rapid. It jumps from admiration to love, from love to matrimony in a moment. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. There is a stubbornness about me that can never bear to be frightened at the will of others. My courage always rises with every attempt to intimidate me. I love that saying. Okay, I'm going to do that. My courage always rises with every attempt to intimidate me. That works. That will be our back. That will be the back. My courage always rises with every attempt to intimidate me. So let's take our paint pen here and do an oval. Kind of like on the front. But I'm not painting this one. I'm penning it. So this coming weekend I will be at Custom Art Framing in Norwood, Massachusetts, my sister's frame shop and gallery with some other artists to be announced, and we will be selling our wares there. So that'll be a fun one because that's just kind of a hangout for me. We're just gonna hang out and have a good time. Not sure if I'm gonna bring, not sure exactly what I'm gonna bring, actually. I know I'll be bringing ornaments, and I will be bringing advice slices. But don't know what else I will be bringing. Not sure. Not sure yet. I know Pride and Prejudice is not a Christmas story, but it is always a popular seller for me. So that is what I'm doing. And I kind of think of Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen and Little Women. Little Women I do think is Christmassy because there is Christmas in Little Women in the story. There is Christmas, so I don't see that one as not being holiday. I do think that's holiday. Even though it's not like a fully Christmas story, it's completely Christmas adjacent. Like it's fully immersed in holiday winter-y stuff. So I totally think of that as Christmassy. And I highly encourage a watch of the Winona Ryder version, which I'm gonna do. I might even do that today. I really like that movie a lot. Susan Sarandon's in it. Claire Danes is in it. Who else is in it? We have Claire Danes as Beth, right? We got Winona is Jo. We got Susan Sarandon as Marmee. Who else is in there? I can't remember off the top of my head, but if I watch it today or tomorrow, I will be sure to let you know on Wednesday. Okay, let's see here. Let's see how close. Oh, nice. What a match. I was just going to say, how close is this pen to the paint, to this purple paint? And it's It's like a hair lighter, but it's like it's right in there that I don't even need to break out the paint bottle. Let's do some what do we want to do here? Let's do one of these books. I like to do the edge too, and then you can write in really tiny writing. You can write the name of the book on the binding part, which is so fun because they're like these cute little mini books. I love it. Give my pen a good shake. Okay. Yeah, the more I think about this weekend, and as much as I really do enjoy doing that show, I feel like there's some particular things that that crowd that attends that show, even though it kind of changes every year a little bit, but by and large, it's like they're not really my crowd as much, you know? They're not like really so much on the whole, not individually, but like on the whole, not exactly my, you know, kind of clientele, people that would not necessarily my crowd, but that's okay. That is okay, because I'm not for everybody. Nobody's for everybody, and that's fine. That's what makes us different. So, and I kind of knew that, you know, like I do kind of know that, because I'll do this show. I'll do the show that I did this weekend, and then I'll do a show like the Brighton Bazaar. And it's very immediately noticeable to me how much more that crowd is for me. If I had to like gauge, I would say that is far more my crowd. You know what I mean? It's just different. Kind of a different kind of crowd, you know? Like, I think of the crowd that goes to this show that I did this weekend. For instance, it's a very science center area. So I try to bring stickers that when I'm looking at the stickers I'm bringing, I try and bring stickers that are grammar or science, and it's very it's very sciencey and it's very like corporate. So I do try to bring that kind of stuff. And I did bring a lot of my like liberal merchandise, and I think it might be a little too liberally for that audience. I don't know. Even though, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Even though it's still Cambridge, which is very liberal, but I don't know. I don't know. See, here I am again. Here I am again, just pondering why something goes and why something doesn't. So if I feel like doing more shows, which I would love to, I'm so glad I feel like a little bit back, because last year, this time, I really wanted to make 2025. I really wanted to make live in-person art shows a major focus of mine for the year. It goes along with my whole feelings about AI and about my backlash feelings and the need to support original art, and how I feel like I have to take a stand. I have to take a stand on that in my own work. Obviously, because I'm anti-AI in the creative space, and it's important to advocate for that for me, because it's really just disgusting. Anyway, yeah. But I got a diagnosis. I had some really bad hand issues, and yeah, I have osteoarthritis. Doesn't everybody, is my answer to that. But I got diagnosed with autoimmune arthritis, which really like put me in a spot, put me in a deep spot, because it was really uncomfortable and I was very scared and worried, and I was having some bad, symptoms, and I was trying medication and having issues with that. So I kind of had some, had to go through some stuff with that. So, but on the flip side, I'm gonna just zoom you a little bit over here like that. On the flip side, here we are in December, and I'm doing pretty well. So I'm feeling like I might want to restart that strategy again. I don't know if strategy is the right word, but I feel like I might want to restart that intention again. to do shows in person. Because I really enjoy that a lot. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a wait and see. I'm gonna get through this holiday and we'll see where we land, you know? These are going to be really cute. These are going to be really cute. How are we doing on these? Oh, I didn't even tell you. So day one of the show, I was selling my book ornaments for $24 a piece. And hold on, I'll lower my volume here. Whoops, 1 second. Okay. So day one, I had them set to $24 for the book ornaments. And as I mentioned earlier, I did not sell one book ornament. Not one. And I was like, okay, you know. And okay, granted, it's only a 4-hour show, so I gotta take that into account too. But I was thinking, I'm like, why? They should be flying off the tree. And they're not. So what do I need to do? How do I right this ship, right? So I texted someone who will remain nameless, but one of my advisors, and I'm like, what do I do? What I said was, I'm going to put these down to 18. What do you think? And my advisor said, try 22. So, I did. Tried 22. I'm going to have a sip of my iced coffee. So that was like at the end of day one. And I went in on 22. And I'm going to grab I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my black Posca. I have it. There it is. Yeah. So I did. I went to oh crap, this is blue. And it's not the skinny tip. That's okay. We're going to work with this because we're here and we're live and that's just what we're doing. I'm flipping the tip though. Maybe get it sharper that way. So the second day I did sell 6. So that was good. But yeah, it was like, you get to, it's all so psychological. It's like, okay, so I really want to sell these ornaments. Okay. I'm like, I want to sell my ornaments. Why are my ornaments not selling? And what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get my ornaments into the hands of buyers, right? It's like, this is all like pricing psychology, kind of. You're just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And why are my ornaments not selling? Other improvements I also made, I have to mention. Number one, I updated, I updated and I upgraded the my signage, because I really think my signage was not what it needed to be. It wasn't really giving the best light to the products that they deserved, So everyone doing craft shows, don't make sure to give your signage. See, I'm like, practice what I preach. It's almost like practice what my mistakes are. Right? Practice how I made a mistake. Don't practice how I made a mistake. Let me tell you the mistakes I made so you don't make my mistakes. So pay a lot of attention to the delivery method of your prices. So I threw the afterthought method at my signage, sort of. I mean, I kind of thought it was like a done deal in a way, because I have these little black signs that you can, you know, I can make decisions at the last minute and I can change them. But they weren't really doing it for me. When I got there, okay, my chalk pens weren't working like I wanted them to, and I wasn't having patience with that, so that was an issue. And then I mean, that was really the issue. And then you know, I just didn't think they looked as good as they could. So Saturday night when I came home after the show, I really like put some thought into it. a little more thought into it. Not too much thought. I put a little more thought into it. And I'm like, yeah, I think I want to do, because a lot of the work that I am showing and doing is very much like glowy looking paint pen over dark surfaces. I decided to sort of lean into that. And I have this gray, this medium dark gray, kind of like scrapbooking paper. It's like a huge pad of this paper that I bought years ago at not Blick. I bought it at Michael's. And you know, it's just nice, like card making paper, basically. Paper that you could make cards out of. But you can make signs out of it. It's like strong enough for signs and things. And it's not cardboard, but it's stiff enough for that use. And it's also coated, so paint pen glides nicely on it. So that worked out really nice. And I decided to use it for my... excuse me. I used it for my signs. I did all of my signs in this paper, and I used white Posca marker on it. And because to echo the detail in my work, I used a 0.7 millimeter Posca marker. This is a 1 point millimeter. This is one what am I saying? This is 1 millimeter. The other ones, the Posca 0.7 millimeter ones, have like they're the same ish. They're not like the super skinny tip, but they're more angled and tighter. And so it gives me more control, precision on the lettering. So I made some cute advice slice and ornaments. Signs. I made signs for pretty much everything for most things with that, and I really liked how they came out, and I think that they really elevated my table from what it was. So I think my signage that I had on day one was sort of dragging down my whole vibe, you know? I mean, it was sort of not, it wasn't, it wasn't like improving things, you know what I mean? And these are like the things, like you go all in, and then you like mess up on something like that, and it's just kind of like, oh, what a drag, you know? So I'm gonna use a teeny tiny brush on this one. So yeah, so that's what happened. I sort of dropped the ball on my signage, I think, in the first day. But you know, this is all stuff that's like woulda, coulda, shoulda. You're like Monday morning quarterbacking on things, and it's kind of like, it's good because it makes you think more about, you know, more strategically about your setup and things. But on the other hand, it's also not, because it's kind of like, well, really, you don't really know why something failed or didn't do as well as it could have. Like, there's no, sometimes there's just no knowing, you know? Sometimes you just can't do that, because sometimes it's just an unknown, you know, thing. Okay, hi Kathy. I like how you went in there with the blue and green. Poscas are so fun. Thank you. Yue Kava. I don't know if you're still here, but I appreciate your comment. Yeah, so I like to just, you know, mix it up with the Poscas, right? These two colors are nice. They go nice together. They give me that little bit of gradient. Get a little bit of depth from the blue. I only have blue and green here upstairs. I don't have my whole shebang today, which is actually really good, because sometimes it's good to limit, right? Sometimes it's nice to limit ourselves, and then you don't have to like spend your time being stuck in indecision, and you can just get to work on what you're doing. So I think the signage, some of the pictures in the slideshow show, I know it's really hard to tell, probably it's hard to see because those pictures are teeny tiny, but some of them are from day 1 and some of them are from day 2. And the day 2 signs are the gray ones, and the day 1 signs are the multicolored, like some of them are kind of fluorescent looking. I did them on fluorescent cardstock that I had painted. Not painted fully, but that I did a little bit of painting on. So, you know, live and learn, right? I kind of thought that was going to bite me in the butt, to be honest with you, if I wasn't so focused on other things when I was getting prepared for my show. I was like, I really should do my signs, right? My pricing. And I didn't. I waited. And you know, it's like, I know what's frustrating to me as a shopper. And this is like all live and learn stuff, you know? It's like you live, you learn, and then you do better next time. And it's not like this was my first show. Like, I've done plenty of shows. So what was my deal? I don't know. I think I'm a little rusty, you know? I'm a little rusty. That's what it is, really. Because the second day I felt so much more myself than the first day. And the first day I was like just not, I have to be on my game verbally too, with like talking to people. And like, I require warm-up time. And if you've seen any other of my lives, then you will understand, because you know how I am. You know, I can just sound like such an idiot for like the first 15 minutes and then make sense after that. If you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes I'm just not ready to like talk, and I'm sitting here talking. So yeah, what do I want to do here? So okay, here's my dilemma with this one. Here's my little dilemma. I don't feel like I have enough contrast between the berries and the wood colored background on these. But that said, I also don't like to have a total buildup of paint pen, because that just gets messy and gross when you have too much. So, because I was like, well, do I want to double down and do more paint pen? See, what I was thinking was, should I do, instead of doing the orangey red color over the wood background, the green and wood background stain, do some of this dark blue Posca, and then once that's dry, I will do a little bit of the red in the center. But that's just gonna, I think that's just gonna be a mess, and I don't want to do that, because honestly, like, once you start, there's like a law of diminishing returns when you're doing a lot of paint pen art, like a lot of paint pen on your surface. You can have like some issues with the diminishing returns stuff. And you can end up with a little bit of a mess if you're not careful. So I'm just going over this with a little dib-a-dab of this Blick matte acrylic in orange deep, and it's going to give me, it's almost the same color as the paint pen. Almost, not quite. It's a little bit more muted, and it's like a hair more dark. So I'm just going to use my little, my dotting tool here, and I'm just doing like a nice little blop of this paint for my berries, so I can have it be really opaque. And I mean, that shows up a lot better, doesn't it? Even despite the fact that like the light is shifting, it really does show it better. So I'm going to stick with that, because I think what was going to happen, I'm just guessing, but having had experience with doing that with Poscas, I feel like doing layers of Posca paint pen, you can get into a little bit of a pickle if your Posca starts lifting on you, and that can be a little hard to correct if you're really in it, you know, like when you're, and then that can require you to have to do some course correction, and you know, it's just not always fun or easy to do that. I mean, honestly, you can fix it. You can always fix things. You can always fix things. Most of the time. Almost all the time. I mean, I can't think of a recent time when I was using just Poscas and I overdid it that I was not able to fix it. Just the other night, I fixed it. Just the other night, I was doing my advice slices. It was Saturday night. I was making advice slices to bring to the show on Sunday. And I had a couple that, I think 2 or 3, maybe even 3, that I had made some little mistakes on. So I was varnishing them with Liquitex matte medium, and I was brushing it on, and the error of my ways was not waiting long enough for the white acrylic paint to dry. that I was using in tandem with the Posca paint pens. So I was also using, excuse me, I was also using, along with my Posca paint pens, I was using a little bit of golden fluid acrylic in white, and I had painted some specific parts of my design, and this is all on wood. And I'm sorry I don't have an example here to show you, but I was doing this and I was then varnishing, and it turned out that I didn't wait long enough for it to dry. So what I ended up doing is I ended up washing gently as possible. I was getting streaks of white, okay? And it was, at first I thought it looked kind of cool. And then I thought, am I just seeing things? Is that really coming out like that? And then I realized it is really coming out like that, and now it's worse. Like, there was one moment where it looked cool. There was one moment where the hazy white looked really cool with the medium, with the streaks in the medium, and I thought, oh, if I was going to ever stop, that would be the time to stop, because it looked really cool. But I did not stop, and it did not look cool for long. So then it was a mess, and I decided to wash it off. So then I gently washed off as much as I could of the parts that were proving to be problematic, you know, while not washing off the entire design, because, like, I didn't want that to happen. And what happened was it was actually fine. I fixed it. I was able to fix it, and I'm really proud that I was able to fix that, because it was kind of a stroke of luck that I was actually able to fix it. And I fixed it all, and then instead of using a brush-on varnish, I then took it outside and did the Rust-Oleum, I think it's called 2X. I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but the 2X satin varnish, and I sprayed my advice slices instead. So that helped a lot, and it worked. It worked great. That's when a spray varnish really comes in handy, because you do not want to be lifting up a bunch of your design, you know. That is just a recipe for disaster, you know. So this week I'm just going to concentrate on making more handmade art, and I'm going to get ready for Saturday for show 2 on Saturday, or I should say art market in Norwood, Mass. Very excited for that. And that's what I'm gonna do. I really love making these little book ornaments, and I just think they're so fun. I feel like Sunday's audience really got it, you know? They really got it. There was people that were like, these are so cool. What a great idea. I'm like, thanks, because thank you for thinking the same thing that I think, because I think they're a great idea too. So that was cool. I love that. And I was happy that some of my ornaments found their people, you know? It's always so great when your handmade stuff finds people that resonate with it, you know? I had some people who were interested in the paintings, the large paintings. I had one person who was interested in, this is on Saturday before I had the prices for the large paintings displayed, which you absolutely need to do. I mean, people don't always do that, artists, but that was like, you know, that is a mistake, in my opinion, to not have the prices up. That is a mistake. And I know that there's psychology behind not having your prices listed up for your larger items, for your items that are more pricey. But it's just, I mean, you should have your prices up. I should have, and I didn't. And so I put them up on Sunday, and I was really happy about that, because it shows like a level of confidence in your work too. And it also is more transparent for your seller, for your buyers, because, you know, there's always the possibility that, you know, somebody who was a potential buyer could be like, oh, are they gonna just like change the price for someone else? You know what I mean? And if you have your prices listed, kind of gives them a little bit more of a vote of confidence, right? Because then it's like, okay, I'm gonna use this color for the berries over the gold. You know, they're not doing that. They're not, you know, changing their price all the time, you know? So that's kind of good, I think. I think it gives the buyer more confidence. And, you know, I mean, I've been selling for almost 20 years in my Etsy store, and then before that, too, before I had an Etsy store. And I've been running customer service myself. Even though I use a lot of print on demand, it's really important to me, and I think to my buyers, that I think it gives them so much confidence that I do that I'm always sending, you know, order confirmation and communicating directly with them, because just because you're buying something print on demand does not mean that you're not, you know, I'm just using a little bit of this watered down golden fluid acrylic sap green hue. That's what I was using over there too. But that was also a little bit, this one was a little bit mixed with the off-white paint, some of it, but this is just not. This is just straight out of the thing, straight out of the jar. I think people really appreciate that, and I think my buyers really appreciate it. And I do think that that's why a lot of them come back and shop with me again, because they know that even though they might be buying a design that's made print on demand. They know I'm right there. And I'm with them on the journey. You know what I mean? So I'm with them on the journey. So they can have like confidence when they am buying from me in my shop, because they know there's a person who is, managing it. Anyhow, my whole point with that was to say that, or to get across that, doing customer communication and support through my online store, even though it's, fully me and I'm fully writing out emails and whatever, it's different when you're in person, in a art market setting, and you're sitting at your booth and you're communicating with, live shoppers. It's kind of a different thing, and it's sort of like, for me, because I am so used to writing emails, right? I'm just used to doing things that way. That's, kind of built my business around that, in some ways. I require a warm-up period. I just do. It's just how I am. So, not always, not always super great at, or super on, rather, like when you're on. Not always super on. I try in person. I do really try. I'm capable of it, definitely. I mean, I've done lots of in-person stuff. I've done trade shows and stuff. So, like selling my art for licensing. So I have experience with that. I'm not saying that it's like I am great at it, but I made it through. You know what I mean? I have been successful at it. I have had my successes with it. But I do know myself, and I know that it is something I have to prime myself for. It is not something that is like, I am not an extrovert. It is not second nature to me to be immediately, standing, selling myself type of thing. I can always use improvements on that score for sure. So I feel like I am best when I'm just being authentic and talking about what I'm enthusiastic about and like what I'm passionate about, and that's kind of where the authenticity comes in for me. Oh, I forgot one of my little hollies. I forgot a holly there. I gotta do one more. So as long as, I stick with doing things that I really believe in and stuff like that, then I'm good. Oh, my stomach's making noises. Sorry about that. hope you didn't hear that. Oh, I'm off camera. Hold on. Let me do that. I'm having a little bit of a glare issue here with my little holly leaf here. Let me do this one. Geez, I really should finish one of these so we can move on with our day, right? I mean, yep, I really need to do that. I need to finish. I will finish the front, okay? I'm probably not going to finish the entire back of one of these, but I will finish the front. I have to eat lunch though pretty soon because my stomach is growling. Okay. Wash our brush out, cover our paint jar, and okay, now we're gonna do berries on this one. We're going to do 2 of the lighter, more lavendery berries on one side. And then on the other side, we're going to do the deeper pink berries. Okay, that's good. And that we used, let me show you what we used. We used Blick Matte Acrylic Red Violet Light for that, and then the background of this wood slice and the berries are going to be in pink medium Blick Matte Acrylic. Excuse me. And this is called the dotting tool, and you can get this where nail products are available or pottery products are available. Pottery making products, pottery creation products, and nail art products. They're great. I love them. All right, so now we have these 4 fronts, and then we have some. Oh, I just smushed part of the paint here, but it didn't mess it up, so that's good. Thank goodness. And I started on the backs, but I'm not going to be able to finish the backs on this live because I'm not going to have time. I think that these are going to be, I'm going to remove these 2. I'm going to work on this one. And I will move the ones that are drying off of my little table here, so they can dry in peace. And we'll do this one. We're gonna do, let's do, what should we do? Pride and Prejudice or Little Women? What do we want to do? Pride and Prejudice or Little Women. I think I'm going to do Pride and Prejudice because I don't have any Pride and Prejudice left, and I do have some Little Women left. So one fun thing to do is, let me show you. I mean, typically I would like to use paint for this, but sometimes the acrylic paint pen paint is like a really good thin quality. What am I talking about? Quality. It's like a really thin paint, so it makes it a lot easier if you don't have a tiny little brush to draw with. You can just use some of this paint. So I'm just going in, and it's, you know, dense enough in terms of the color payoff. that it's thin, but it's not low in pigment. If you know what I'm saying. It's like the pigment load is good, so I'm just going to try not to touch my little berries, because my little berries are not yet dry. So Pride and a little hard to do cursive with this brush, as you can see. I'm getting some little resistant moments with it. And then I'm cleaning it up, backtracking to clean it up. Okay, let's do a little bit more ink. And then let's write Prejudice. I'm going to start over here. Let me get you a little closer. There we go. Excuse me, my stomach's making noise. Pride and okay, I'm starting my P down here. That. Okay, R, E, this is kind of an old brush and it has this little it's a little bent out of shape on the end, which, you know, I'm trying to alter the way I use it to accommodate for that, but it's a little annoying because, you know, it's not making it super easy for me. Oh. Okay. Watch me clean this up because I made a mistake. I made a spelling error. So first I'm gonna just dab a little water on there. And then I'm gonna go in and wipe it off with a tiny bit of paper towel. And it's probably gonna take off the paint underneath it. And maybe not. Let's see. Let's see if I can fix this. Ooh. Okay. Here we go. We are going to paint a little more white over that because I just made a misspelling. Just made a little spelling error right there. And that's okay because we can fix it. Fix that right up. Let it dry and it's gonna be okay. It's nice to be able to fix things. So how am I gonna do this now? Because my J, and then U. Pride and Pred, J. J is going to go here. Hold on, I want to move this over. I don't want to be out of frame. Okay. All right, hold on. Pride and And my J is gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna start my U like this. Like that. I'm gonna make it work, right? And as I am fond of sharing, of oversharing, because I am an oversharer, I get bored. Prejudice easily. So you will see a lot of my designs. Like, yeah, I may have more than one Little Women design, but I don't do them the same all the time. Prejudice, right? But I get bored, you know, so I don't want to. I get bored if I have to do things exactly the same. I like to, even if they're very closely the same, I'll change something up. I'll do like for instance, I did 2 snowman ornaments before, and I did the writing a little bit different on each one. And I really liked it. It came out good. Pride and Prejudice. Okay, this E is gonna be tricky again. Not so bad. That really was not so bad. All right, I need to have a lot of ink for my J though. My my cleanup ink is not cleaned up yet. It's not dry yet, so I can't go into it yet. I really got to make sure that's dry before I go into that. I'm gonna do a little eye here, and then let's do this eye top too. That. Pride and Prejudice. And now we can write Jane Austen on the bottom, but I want to clean up my U a little bit. I thought I just put some paint on my little palette. Oh, sorry guys. What's going on here? What is going on? There we go. Get some ink there. Paint, ink. What is it? Is it paint? Is it ink? Let's do that. Pride and Prejudice. Add a little bit of flourish on my R here. And there. Okay. Now. Ooh, I'm so dying to go into my J. I think I need more ink though. My palette looks a little bit dry. I just need to get some ink on this. There's some paint on here. This stuff dries quickly, so. All right, ready? We doing it? We doing it? There we go. Let's thicken that up a little bit. All right, let's see. Where are we with the ink? Grab as much as we can. Need more. Need more ink. Awesome. I like it. I like it. Cool. Pride and Prejudice, and then we're gonna write Jane Austen in a minute. I think I want to drag down my I a little bit and my R like that. And maybe the P too, like that. Give it a little, you know, flair. Give it a little flair. There we go. Pride and Prejudice. Awesome. Okay. All right, I need to make the Pride P look, it needs to look a little bigger because it's not quite, I want it to be like taller because it's like the first, right? It's the first letter in the title. So it needs a little more balancing, I think. Let's see, did that do it? Now we want to balance this one out like that. All right, that's better. It's a little better. Okay. All right. And we're still going to do some little detailing with some gold around the cameo. I'm just going to make this a little bit more intentional. Okay, and this too, down here. There we go. Nice. There we go. There we go. Oh, I hope you can see this. Am I off screen here? Okay, Pride and Prejudice. I'm gonna look for balance here now. I'm gonna check my balance settings, so to speak, and see where I am. Adding a little watered down paint. I don't know why I started doing that, but I did. And that's okay, because we're just moving right along here. It actually looks kind of pretty. Looks kind of pretty. I like it. It's kind of like a little, gives it a little highlight, right? It gives it a little bit of a, just something extra, a little something extra there. And Prejudice. Let's do a little blop. There we go. Little blop on the eye. Can't say no to a little blop on the eye. All right. I also want to do a little U. Okay, now we're gonna write Jane Austen. But what I need to do, maybe I'll write it in gold. I'm trying to think because I don't want to write it in gold over this off-white because it's not going to show up. So, options. We could do a little banner. We could do... Do I want to get into that? Not really. But I also, you know, I'm a little tired of using this little tiny brush. But because of challenges, I don't... because of just because of challenges, I don't have a 1mm dark pen to use to write her name. So I am going to do it with this brush, and we're just going to hope everything turns out okay, right? Let's just do that. Let's just do it, and we're just going to like let it happen, right? We're gonna hope for the best. We're gonna hope for the best. And we're gonna make it work. Whatever happens, happens, right? Because we can always make it work. We can always fix something. We can always unless you're using oil paint, which I am not using, and I do not use, you know, you can fix stuff. You just have to like be confident in your fixing and be swift, because sometimes you gotta act fast. So I just don't ever want you to be afraid to make mistakes, because first of all, there's magic in mistakes. You know, you make a mistake, you fix it, or you make a mistake and then you're like, wow, that is not a mistake. That is like a happy accident, right? That's cool. Like, you're happy that you did it because you're like, that came out so cool. And I like that. That came out good. So I'm going to do, what do we want to do? Okay. So number one, I don't want to make more work for myself on this. I want to finish this. Oh, you know what we should do now though? Oh no. Oh, drat. Okay. So do you see how I did this part gold and I didn't do the rest of it? This was going to be the binding, and I accidentally did the cover on the back of the book. So instead of like redoing, because that's great for the cover, let's keep that cover and let us do we're just going to do gold all around. And we can still pretend that this is the binding. We can still make this the binding part, but the rest of the book will have like gold leaf pages. Cool, right? Just making it work, making it work. That's what we do here. So I'm not going to bother doing the bottom and the top right now, but now we have gold on this side and gold on that side, and it's fine. It's totally fine. So we're not going to worry about, we ain't going to worry. We're not going to worry about that. I'm going to just move forward with my little design here. And first I need to test out my pen, because this is a Molotov, and it's a little like worked. I've used it quite a bit, and see, sometimes it doesn't like do everything I want it to do. Sometimes I have to just cross my fingers and hope for the best with this pen. There's still paint in it. There's not a lot of paint in it, but there is still paint in here. And sometimes I just need to talk to it really nicely and ask it to work for me. And today it's doing okay. So the reason I've got my finger on my here, I'm holding it down so it doesn't slide around on me, because I am making very specific marks here, and I don't, if I have to do this, like press hard on it, I don't want the piece of wood to go flying, you know? We gotta like put our fail safes in place here with this. There really is not a lot of ink in here. So what I might need to do, let's see. No. Okay. I think I may have just used the very last bit of this pen. This pen is like, is this like bone dry? Uh-oh. I think it's dry. I think we're dry. All right. So I have this one. I have this one here. And this is a Molotov with like a real thick tip on there. It's another gold one. So we're going to just edge. We're going to do like this. And we're just going to do like little dollops. And then what I can also try to do here is use my dotting tool and see if I can get any additional dots out of these little ink blobs. from the ink I already laid down. See if that can work for me in some of the tighter spots. So because I have some tight spots that I'm gonna have to get through that could be potentially be a little bit of an issue.
Hi, honey.
Hey, I'm still doing my, that's okay. So see, like right around the holly here, I'm gonna do like a dot. I'm gonna try with my dotting tool right around the holly because I don't want to. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna use my pen. That worked. Okay, good. And right around here. Okay, that works. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. All right, we're doing okay here. Doing all right. All right, now we're getting into some danger territory here. We got this, that. All right. We're going to be okay, though. I'm going to tilt you so you can see better, because probably not having a very good view, and I apologize for that. Sometimes, you know, it's a lot. There's a lot going on a live stream, right? All this stuff happening. Like, what is happening? All right. So cool. So that's looking really cute. So if you look at the slideshow, you will see that I did a Little Women design, and that design, I just love how that came out. It sort of emulates the whole vibe that I want to get with these little book ornaments, like the classic. These classic ones, like Pride and Prej and Little Women, you know, they really give me like that whole vibe that I'm looking for. That little old-timey vibe, 1800s, you know, a feminist in 1800s vibe. So, I think that I did a good job with this one. I'm happy with how this came out. I think I'm not 100% done yet. I'm going to do a little bit of ink dollop here, and I'm going to use my teeny tiny little messed up brush to do a little bit of, I'm just going to do a flourish right here, right in the center like that. Just because, like, I wanted to have a little separator, you know, as one does on a book cover. And then maybe we can do like a little, off camera, sorry. Maybe do like a little dollop there. And then maybe we can even this out because it seems a little off balance here. Oh gosh, I gotta turn things around here. How's that? What do you think? What do you think? Okay, so quite honest. I'll be quite honest with you. If I had my druthers, I would have done something different there. That's not exactly what I wanted, but that's okay. It's still nice. I do want to add a dollop of daisy to the letters right here in the gold because I wanted to add a little bit of highlight to, you know what I might actually do? You know what I might actually do? Okay. What I might actually do? I might just get really crazy and I might paint over that. But or maybe just a little bit. Maybe I'll just paint over it a little bit because it's like a little too much for me. And then I was trying to even things out. and then it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. But we have this ace in the hole here. It's called Blick Matte Acrylic Off-White. And I'm gonna use a little bit of that and see what I can do. Maybe if I use just like the right brush and the right touch, maybe I can just edit it just ever so slightly and get it into a place that I like more. But I really need to wipe my brush off to make sure there's no additional water on my brush, because that could just be a mess. Oh, ooh, that gold ink is still wet. That's not good. All right, maybe that didn't work out so well. Maybe I'm gonna be really stubborn and do that again. Or maybe this brush has blue ink on it. I don't know. Let's just give it a shot, shall we? Let's just give it a shot. I'm testing. Okay. Let's just go over this. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? It's kind of a mess now. I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't think that... I think the gold ink does not like... I think the gold ink does not like... Yes, it does not like that. The gold ink doesn't like wet. But that's okay, because we're going to fix it. See what I say? You can fix anything, right? Unless you're using oil paint, you can fix it. And I'm just going to use this as an example because I want to prove it to you. I want to prove it to you. Let's prove this. Let's prove it. Let's wash it. We're washing it away. And paint pen is interesting because it's kind of like the longer you wait to fix a bit of your paint pen issue, the harder it will be to fix. You know what I mean? Like the more resistant the paint is going to be. But the earlier you try and pick it up, lift it, the less resistant it is going to be. Okay, so now I'm just gonna blow on this a little bit because where's my blow dryer? Oh, I'm gonna use my blow dryer. I think it's plugged in. Okay, I'm gonna I'll turn the volume off for a minute. Okay, this should be much easier now to paint over. So I'm going to use like a little flat. I'm going to use this little flat brush, and it should be easier now. So this little part here, the dark part, that's like exposed from underneath. That's like the green exposed part. But we're gonna fix this. It's fixable, and it's gonna look better. It will look better. It will look better. I'm just gonna blow dry it again too. But We got this. We got this. Let's fix it. It's fun to show the facts that things are fixable. Let's blow dry again. Okay, we're going to go in again with a little more white, off-white paint in this area. And we're just going to keep doing this. I'm actually going to do some of the other parts too, because what's going on now is that I did a couple of coats of this white over the green that I had already stained this wood. And now, of course, the off-white paint looks different. It looks different when it's wet, but despite, or besides that rather, you know, I'm doing like different layers over this, over the part that has 2 layers over green. So they're going to look different. Like the level of transparency and the tone of the paint is going to look different in different spots. So because it was blotchy down in this area, I'm now making it different everywhere. So you're not even going to notice, right? It's just going to look like, oh, that looks hand painted. It's not going to look, you know, it's just going to have that blotchy look everywhere now. And it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to pinpoint the part that looks like a mistake, because the whole thing is just going to be painterly and have underpainting showing through in different parts. So that's why I'm painting the whole thing again, because now you're just going to have a lot of different little areas that are splotchy, and that's just going to be part of the background. That's just going to be a design choice, you know, instead of like covering up a mistake or whatever. You know what I mean? See, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. This must be like the longest ornament live I've even done today. See how much I've missed you? See how much I've missed you? Oh, that is still getting lifted, that spot right there. I'm just gonna have to do this over and over and over. I mean, the splotchy is really not bothering me at all, like the rest of the gradations in the opacity of this off-white. I kind of like it. I like what it's giving. It's like, it's looking really painterly, and it's looking very cool. Very cool look to it, and I really like it. Oop, I keep making some little mistakes, and that's okay. I can fix that later. That's a pretty easy fix. I'm gonna do a little more blow drying now. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. This blow dryer is kind of the equivalent to a heat gun that people use nowadays. I don't have a heat gun, but I have a blow dryer, and I think it's similar. It's basically just throwing a bunch of hot drying hot drying stuff, like whatever, air. So that's looking better. I'm really liking this difference here. I'm liking the splotchy white look. Not necessarily that splotch, but overall, I'm liking the splotchiness. The splotchy, layered look. I'm going to blow dry that again real quick. Oops, sorry. I'm talking into nothing. I'm just going to continue to beat the crap out of this splotch until it's no longer bluish. It's better now. It looks better on camera, I think, than in real life. You can kind of see there's like a blue cast. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to blow dry. Hold on. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna grab another brush because I'm trying to just use dry brushes here. I don't want to add any more water to my little mistake issue. And we're just gonna dry brush. And see, that definitely, okay, much better. All right, much better, much better. All right, let me blow dry one more time and then I think we're good. I think we're gonna be good here. All right, I'm gonna blow dry, hold on. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm going to now do a little bit of damage control because I did get into my can I talk? No, I cannot talk. I got into my blue a little bit with some of this ink, sorry, with some of this paint. So I'm just going to clean up. I'm just going to clean up a little bit like that. And where else did I do it? The A. Okay, where else did I do it? Checking all my letters here. E, there, there. I think we're good. All right, so what I want to do, instead of using the blue and instead of using the gold, I'm going to grab a little green and I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say, how center, where's our center? I'm just going to do like a little swatch, like a little, I'm just going to do a little, like a little flourish of green and maybe a couple berries down here, just in the center, like that. See if I can get it so it looks good. That's cute. Okay, that works. Let me add a couple of, maybe I'll do like just like a gold dot or something. That'll be good. A little gold dot will be fine. That'll do it. And then we'll be done. And then we'll be good. Let's do it. One dot. Am I going to regret that? Am I going to regret the addition of more gold here? Am I going to have issues? What's going on? How's that? How's that? Good? I mean, honestly, I liked it better without the gold, but that's okay. This is actually fine. And it's going to dry really, really quickly because this wood is now super hot from being blow dried 5 million times. So there we go. There's our little Pride and Prejudice. Our cute little ornament. All we got to do is put a little O thing in here and then put some ribbons. A ribbon in it. And that's super cute, right? I love it. And we've been on for a long time because I want to show you what else we've been doing. We've also been doing this other one, 2 of these, and we've also been doing another one like that. So we're just working in bulk here. We're just bulking it out. We're doing batches, but I stopped the whole batch thing to just get this going. And another thing that would be cute to do, which I might do, could use your teeny little skinny little pen and do some little lines on the edges, or you could do a little dark blue lines on the, it just looks really cute when it's done. And then we could write Pride and Prejudice on the side. I'd probably want to do another layer of gold on there before I did something like that because I think it needs another layer. So let's just do that while we're here. And there we go. Nice. All right, so there's our cute little book. I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you enjoyed chatting with me about the show and about seeing the pictures that I took in the little slideshow. So today was fun. So I'll be back on Wednesday at 3 p.m. to do a movie. Christmas movies are going to be the theme for Ornament-along on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be rectangle ornament. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I meant to say, but I was just being goofy there. So yeah, so I hope to see you on Wednesday. Please like and subscribe if you like this and if you like my channel content. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!